Yes, people, FJTV. Oh, look at that little bit of light just coming through the tree line onto my face. How wonderful! What perfect timing. So cool. I know I'm a little bit overdue doing a video. Today's a Thursday. It's just after 4:30 in the afternoon. I've got training at 6. So as I've been doing on the days where the training is at a time where if I leave my house, you know, the distance I am away where I've got to drive on the motorway, knowing full well there'll be traffic around that time, I try and come a bit earlier. I've been doing it, I've said it in the videos, if you know, cool. But this video, I'm saying to myself, and I'll say it out loud, it's a video where I want to touch on a lot of things. I don't know how long the video is, but I've got plenty of time, even if this video is an hour long. I feel like I'm, excuse me, about to burp, pardon me. As I sip this energy drink of unknown origin, because no free clout, they don't pay me. Even though you'll probably be able to work out what it is as I drink it. I'm doing my best to sip it so I'm not busting for a piss too early into the video. But cool, I don't want to ramble too much or waffle. But just a little bit of a catch up like I do sometimes. So obviously I've mentioned in recent times, you know, been doing the Muay Thai again since January this year, obviously 2024. Was already doing it from end of April/May 2021, coming out of that last lockdown we was in the UK. And then I did a couple of gradings, got from obviously yellow, you go from beginners, yellow band to green band. After getting my green band, when I want to say March 2022 maybe, a couple of years ago now. And then a few months later I was going less and less, and eventually packed it in. And to cut a long story short, I am going to touch on some stuff over the last few years, potentially in this video. But I stopped doing it and I was really still in that sort of mental sort of box of thinking, yeah, it's like fitness journeys and, you know, being a personal trainer and online coach and, you know, I want my physique and I want to be big and strong and, you know, weight training and like deadlifting, strength training, building this physique and all the stuff, and then starting the YouTube channel, which I did in May 2022, so coming up on 2 years on that as well. And then typical of myself, with all the deep, can you hear how loud that is, that plane going over alongside the wind? But typical of myself, and introspective and reflective as I am, as soon as I walk away from something, I always know whether I truly want it or not, ironically, if you like. And the same way, like I said, lifelong martial artist, I really do this, bruv. You want to get deep. From as young as I can remember practicing karate kicks when I'm watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoons, or that progressed into like Bruce Lee and other martial arts films, which progressed into, I suppose, doing karate before I know it when I'm starting secondary school, from like my entire secondary school, I was going to say career, but whatever you want to call it. From the age of 12 until I was 17, I just spat them. Oops. From the age of 12 until I was 17, starting college when I started doing my fitness instructor and then personal training courses, started working at a leisure centre, blah, 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 cool. Again, walking away from something, then like I said, did the Muay Thai, stopped doing the Muay Thai. I think I did my last training session from Muay Thai before stopping was July 2022. And I stopped, and obviously, like I said, picked it back up January 2024. That's almost 4 minutes are gone, but like I said, if this is a long video, it is what it is. If people are going to watch it, they're going to watch it, yeah. It is literally just me sat in my car at this park, this nature reserve, recording videos. Something I've been doing, like I said, since I started the channel. I think my second ever YouTube video, I'm sat in a pretty similar spot, yeah, almost 2 years ago. But cool, moving on from that. And like I said, I've said the quote plenty of times on this channel, one often meets his destiny on the path he takes to avoid it. Yeah, like I said, as soon as I stopped, life situations, life circumstances, all the synchronicities, 1,000,001 examples, 1,000,001 meditations, ultimately bringing me back to the idea of of course, I can't just be big boy bodybuilder, my visions and aspirations and goals, and I go deep into my mind's eye, into your inner world, whatever you want to call it, whatever mouth noise I need to say, yeah. When I strip everything away, dial it all back, I understand I am infinite consciousness in a human avatar, in a matrix simulation, yeah, here to learn, grow, all the wisdom, relearning all that stuff, because we have that divine connection to source, whatever you want to call it, God, the universe, the oversoul, your higher self, whatever you want to call it, bruv, yeah? We have that direct connection and that spark housed within this physical vessel, yeah? The reason being, of course, in a physical vessel, to operate in a physical world, even if it's all an illusion, bruv, yeah? Again, like I said, bruv, this might be a long video. As I sip this energy drink, more and more the caffeine's going to start twinkling, yeah? And then I'm going to be fucking, yeah, let's go train, hyperactive. As much as I said, you know, I want to cut back on the energy drinks. I know it's an addiction. Something I've been talking about on the YouTube channel for a long time. But I understand it also serves a purpose. And like anything in this matrix, it's a tool. And the same way a knife is a tool, can be used for quote unquote good or evil, good or bad. Yeah, you get me? It's cool. Again, moving on from that, like I was saying with the Muay Thai for the last 6 minutes, yeah, I've got my first amateur Muay Thai fight 20th of April, a day after my birthday, when I'll be 27 years old, which feels crazy to say, but the same way when I started this YouTube channel, I was a month removed from my 25th birthday, which, like I said at the time, is like, that feels old in and of itself. Quarter life crisis. But jokes aside, banter aside, like I said, immortal soul, I understand, bruv. And after all these years and everything I say on this YouTube channel, which I'm going to get into, I know, like I said, at this point I'm sort of like setting the foundation, like I do a lot of the time, for what I want to talk about. But the last few days I was intending to make a YouTube video, but different things, and then timing and this, that and the other, and then thinking, okay, I'll train and then record. But then I started, like, you know, shower, then I want to eat, and then I'm start doing my stretching meditation. And then when I get deep into the meditation and deep into the breath work, and everything melts away, it's almost like I don't have a specific coherent thought to say on a YouTube video, because I feel like I'm just going to say what I've already been saying and what I already know you lot know. Yeah, anyone watching this, I understand obviously law of attraction, I understand some people might hear something I say and it triggers something in their own mind that they've already known anyway, if you want to get deep with it, but maybe just helps them connect some dots or whatever. Because as I always say, bruv, there is nothing new under the sun, yeah. All you're doing is remembering and relearning stuff that you already know. It's already locked away in your DNA, if you want to say it like that. Like I said, the fact that you're an immortal soul anyway, yeah. They can kill this body. Said it for long enough now. I've known it for long enough, and I've been in enough life circumstances and situations my entire life before any sort of real awakening. I like to believe, and when I say like to believe, it's more of a understanding, and I know it's the truth, but I'll articulate it in a way that is more digestible for some people. But I'm in the firm belief, I'll say it like that, that from a young age we've already known all this stuff, yeah, but going through the schooling system, wherever food and shit and then programming put our way is what's gonna, you know, knock you off the correct course, because really, again, obviously touch on the Matrix movie plenty of times on this channel. Same way when Morpheus asks Neo, do you believe in fate? Neo says no. Morpheus says why? Neo says, because I don't like the feeling that I'm not in control of my life. And my takeaway from that is, we can have these crazy ideas of things, and it can ultimately feel like destiny. Like I said, one often meets his destiny on the path he takes to avoid it. Like I said, the universe, whatever you want to call it, bringing me full circle back on the martial arts training, which is what my videos at the end of 2022 was. Like I said, once I stopped the Muay Thai and was just doing the weight training and whatnot, and I was like, my 2023 vision going forward is warrior in a garden. I knew I needed to get back on it. I did that. Like I said, in the environment of the gym. Well, initially at home, just on the heavy bag at first and whatnot. And then, as I said, not to drag the video on longer than it needs to be, but going through that process, even up until the end of last year, where, like I said, I really did hit rock bottom. More in, life circumstances, because mentally, I feel like I've been in a strong place for a very long time now. It's more just the external, almost like looking out the windows of this car, and I look around. It's like this car is an analogy of my body and my brain and this POV, and I can sort of look around, and understand it's just out there. It's not in here, yeah? Having said that, like I said, life circumstances, whatnot, blah, blah, blah. The reason why, instead of living a stone's throw away from this location, where my gym's down the road, I now live in a complete other city. But it is what it is. I've touched on stuff here and there in my videos. If people know, they know. If not, it doesn't really matter too much for this specific video. Again, I don't want to come across like I'm rambling or waffling. I know as the caffeine kicks in, I can start to, you know, mince my words a little bit and get a bit tongue-tied and a little bit. But ultimately, everything I'm saying is we're 10 minutes in, is relaying, like I say, what you already know. So again, cool. Having said that, again, I'm building the foundation and walking down this thing of what I want to talk about. For the last few days, one thing I will quickly say on a quick tangent, understanding we're in a simulation, we've been lied to about everything. The fact that we even believe it's 2024 is obviously, as we all know, the calendars have been manipulated. I've said it before, you know. Common knowledge, like I said, there's nothing new under the sun. But keeping on a human level, but then on a slight dipping your toe in the water, if you like, on a spiritual level, if we go on the sort of zodiac of March the 21st to the following March the 21st, being the actual year, because obviously it would start in the spring, not in the winter. It's only been 2024 for a few days, in theory, if we're on that train of thought, yeah. And the reason why I say that, again, because I saw something which I do my best to really avoid the sort of mainstream narrative and information, because I go off the understanding that I'll hear stuff where I need to, I'll hear it in people's conversations, or when I am on social media, and like I said, the tentacles of the Matrix are still trying to corral and like pull me in a little bit, yeah. And I'll see what I need to see when I need to see it, yeah. But I seen something the other day, someone talked about one of the Rothschilds dying and saying, did anyone else feel a big surge of energy? And my thing was, that probably does coincide with, like I said, the fact that it's finally, well, I didn't even mean to say finally, but it is now March 21st, we're past that point, obviously today's the 28th. 6 months to the day of when I moved house. I'm not going to say in this video because fuck it, we don't dwell on the negativity. But my life circumstances changing, like I said, the rock bottom thing, blah, 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 cool. Which I know ultimately at the deepest level is just an opportunity. And it's just part of this journey of this life simulation that every single day I do my best to center myself in the present moment like I am now, looking at these trees and the nature around me, knowing that I'm going to be nicely caffeinated with the right levels of energy within. Not that I necessarily need it, but it's a helpful tool here and there to be utilised, specifically in the training and the correct training I need to be doing. Like I say, Muay Thai, specifically because I've got a Muay Thai fight, yeah. Okay, it's amateurs, so it's essentially kickboxing because no elbows. I need to check the rule set. I'm pretty sure no knees to the head either, but we'll get to that. All I really need is combination number 3, which is jab cross left hook to the head. Knowing I will win by knockout, but, you know, not even a brag, because, like we say, speaking things into existence, I can meditate on it. Ultimately, like I say, I surrender to my higher self, knowing that with all the visualisation I do, all the breath work I do, which I'm getting to, I know I'm nearly 15 minutes in to really touch on something that's been happening over the last few days, but I'm getting there, so it's all good. I could put myself in that mindset, I could put myself in the walkout, and put myself into the ring. When I talked about the Inter Club I did the other day, and I really was getting dialed in. I'm in the ring, I'm staring down my opponent, I can see the fear in his eyes, whether that's my opinion or otherwise, but the eyes, Chico, they never lie, to quote Scarface. And as I said, because it's not meant to be an actual fight, it's an Inter Club, which is technical, not 100% hard sparring, but harder than you'd go in regular sparring that we do in the gym, and it's Inter Club, so you're facing someone that you're in theory, but you wouldn't know because they go to a different club, blah, blah, blah. I've spoke about it, cool. As I said from the get-go, quick jab cross, even then pulling the punch, because even in that moment I knew this isn't a real fight, but I was still quite psyched up and dialed in for it. Immediately get a warning from the referee. My coach mentioned it to me Tuesday this week, because I made a joke about it, and he was like, yeah, he said it was literally the second you got that warning, I just see you were deflated, and it was almost like I think his exact words were you were turned off, but something to do like flicking the switch, because I think I said that about flicking the switch in my mind and getting dialed in. But anyway, not to ramble and waffle. But as I said, for the last few days specifically, the reason why I've sort of put off and prolonged the video, for a couple of reasons, but again, doing all the meditation and all the breath work I'm doing alongside, like I said, all the training, knowing full well my nutrition isn't at the level it needs to be, but with doing all that meditation, I'm like, okay, enough fucking about, yeah. We've got 4 weeks, and that 4th week is technically fight week, so the training is not as intense, it's more just technical stuff. Big emphasis in my own mind and me personally with my stretching and flexibility. Excuse me. Obviously the meditation, that's more my spiritual stuff anyway. Knowing full well that, like I said, and I've got a video, excuse me, see that's the energy drink and the caffeine and the carbonation making me burp, so I apologise for that. Anyway, as I was saying, when I do the meditations and again like the visualization and the video I've got on the channel in recent times called Because I Choose To, and it's a quote from the 3rd Matrix film when, like I said, Neo's losing to Agent Smith again. He's gone into the Matrix. Agent Smith, without obviously waffling and dragging on, because I'm sure people know what I'm on about, but has successfully infected every other entity in the Matrix at that time. So they're all just copies of him. But then him and Neo are having a one-on-one, flying around, fighting, whatever. Neo starts losing. Agent Smith has infected the Oracle, so he's had the vision of what will happen. Even though, as we know, nothing's set in stone, so like I said with Destiny, and then the quoting like with the whole fate thing that I didn't really finish my tangent on, but my thing is, I surrender to the divine. I can visualise and know. If I'm saying I'm going to walk towards something, even if I'm not 100% concrete in my prediction, but my conviction stays the same, eventually I'll get to where I need to be anyway, yeah? And it's just part of the experience, part of the journey. And one day, whether I have the moment of reflection, looking back on this entire life before my consciousness leaves this vessel, or I just leave this simulation with everyone else, whatever, cool. You get what I'm saying, yeah? But again, bringing it back to what I was saying about Because I Choose To, when Neo's losing that fight to Agent Smith, pounding and, like I say, face in the mud, yeah, pissing down rain, and he says, why, Mr. Anderson, why do you persist? You must see it's futile by now, you cannot win. I might have butchered the quote, but I was roughly correct in that. And Neo looks at him, pulling his face out of the mud, like I said, rain pissing on him. He looks at him and says, because I choose to. And you see it on Agent Smith's face, like when David Goggins says about Apollo Creed's face in Rocky, was it round 14 or whatever, when he says about taking his soul, and it's seeing it in their eyes that this motherfucker won't give up, yeah? So again, like I said with the whole fight thing, this is because I choose to. And I can go deep in here where I know, of course, it's all just part of the illusion. Of course, I dragged my heels with doing what I knew I needed to be doing. Whereas really, when I was really almost, like I said, in your younger years, like I said it earlier in the video, see how I bring it full circle, bruv, yeah? Like I said, 12 to 17, doing the karate competitions, thinking to myself, bruv, if it's really go time, I'd fuck some of these motherfuckers up, bruv. But I'm stifled by the rule set. Again, like the Interclub, again, why I didn't want to be doing that, but, you know, I understand it's part of the process. And even in those moments, where, like I said, I'm not as conscious, I'm not as present in the moment, because obviously, you know, lack of meditation and whatnot, and the Matrix trying to blind you and whatnot, blah, 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 like I've said. But then when I look back on it, and then as I said, with everything I've been saying, all coming full circle, like I said, with dragging my heels, doing something that I know I need to be doing. As soon as I turned, I hadn't even hit my 18th, and I stopped the karate. So that stopped me from the potentiality of doing it over 18s, which would be full contact, okay, point system, but karate competition. Then again, like I said, years, life, the whole roller coaster, all the shit I needed to go through, whatever. Then all the lockdowns, all of that nonsense we were all collectively going through. And then, like I said, lo and behold, I started doing the Muay Thai. Then as soon as the opportunity for potential fights was coming up, and then I changed what club I was going to. And again, all the different life circumstances at the time. And then again, like I said, stopped doing it. Fast forward to all up until January. And like I said, it only took a few months. I think it only took 2 months, bro. And the one coach is like, Josh, how much do you weigh? And I knew in that moment, That's because you're saying how much do you weigh so we can face you up with an opponent. And I've said it in the videos again, not to drag this one on, as I hit 20 minutes. Let me have another sip. 20 minutes, that means it's only 10 to 5. I've still got a good 25, 30 minutes where I even need to worry about leaving. So we'll keep it going. Tastes good going down. As I was saying, so I'm fucking salivating after that. Again, in the last few days, really reflecting and really taking the meditation seriously. And a quick thing I mentioned, and it happened earlier in the year in January. The house I'm living in, it's just me in there. It's under construction. I've kind of alluded to stuff here and there, but ultimately, without getting too deep on it, like I said, it's sort of partially under construction, but it's my own little space, so it's nice at the minute. But the boiler stopped working in January, so I had no hot water, no heating, and I really avoided having more than 1 or 2 cold showers for the week that it was off. But this week, what day is it? Today's Thursday. I must have done 3 days, because that would have been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, of doing the cold showers. And I can't lie, yesterday I really didn't want to do it, bruv. And I was thinking to myself, you know what, if I do a morning training session Thursday, which I hold my hands up, I didn't do it, I had other things to do, but there is no excuse, but it is what it is. High self-guiding me, so whatever. But last night, really not wanting to do it, but I did it anyway, to cut a long story short. As I said, no heating in the house. There was a little electrical fire that I've put the towels in front of to warm up. Put like my clothes that I'm going to get changed into after in front of it to warm up. And I was actually just stood in my boxers, post-training, warming myself up in front of the fire, doing bits of stretching, bits of breath work, knowing what I've already known that I'll kind of touch on in this video as I wrap it up, yeah. Like I said, if you made it this far, I understand sometimes when I start talking, I get on a bit of a tangent. But if you can stay with my train of thought, you know, I've already said it, so we know where I've gone. I feel like I'm a bit bunged up right now, so I don't want to... That's another thing I've realised with detoxing and fasting, and starting running as well with my training. I know I am starting to waffle a little bit at this point. I'm having another sip as I sort of clear my sinuses a little bit. As I was saying, all the wisdom that comes flooding back as I go into these meditations with the breath work. And as I've said, you can get that DMT release. You don't need any sort of fucking weed, coke, pills, alcohol, cigarettes, the vapes. A lot of those things are poison, but even with the weed, bruv, yeah, I love a bit of Mary J now and then, bruv. Said it in previous videos, there was a time last year when I was smoking a little bit again. And ultimately, it just gives me the same feeling where I get all these thoughts and I'm writing stuff down and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm connecting the dots. But ultimately, I said to myself in recent times as well, there's no need for me to smoke and then meditate properly until I have my own little surroundings properly. Like I said, at this current settings and circumstances, I know in my heart it's not the right environment. And I was deep in that yesterday. But again, with like the fasting, the detoxing, the meditation, if you want to call it yoga, but stretching. And like I said, the wisdom that comes flooding back that I've known for years anyway. Okay, over time, connecting different dots here and there, but sort of like carving out the path. And as I said, brother, it all comes full circle. Of course, I would visualise as a child being like one of them crazy ninjas that almost defies the laws of gravity. When I first saw the Matrix film and I was doing karate, and I remember putting on my gi and I'm tying my belt, and I'm remembering the Matrix I watched the day before, the night before, and thinking of the fight between Morpheus and Neo. And I'm thinking, right, it's kind of like, that's like if I was fighting my sensei kind of thing, like fighting your teacher, whatever. And I'm pretty sure that specific day, I might be wrong, but I think I'm correct. That was the day when I got signed up for another competition. But even in that training session, there was like a black belt that turned up, so there's like 3 black belts. I was only like, I don't know, halfway through, so whatever colour belt I was at the time, whatever. But I remember sparring with one of them again. Like I said, it's not hard sparring. I was probably like 14, 15. And I'm pretty sure this kid was like under 18, but he was older, so probably like 16, 17. And I held my own with him, and I remember thinking to myself, bro, give me that black belt. You know what I mean? And jokes aside, I know I'm 25 minutes in. You know what? We'll lock the video off. I know I said about it being an hour, but I can feel myself sort of backing myself into a corner a little bit. I feel a burp coming. Oh, excuse me. Quickly, as I wrap up the video, I'll touch on the semen retention, because why not? This might be, as I say, when I do these long form videos, if they don't get the views, I couldn't care less. Excuse me again. I know a day will come where maybe I'm sitting in my own little podcast studio, whether that's my own house or otherwise, and I maybe do a thing where we do like a watch along, and I kind of chop it up where I'm watching in real time all my older videos, but then clip in points where I kind of react to myself, where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when I said that. This is what I was going for at the time. And like I said, and I've said in recent times, yeah, I am a professional fighter. Say it in the present tense. I am a professional fighter. I said it in the I think, therefore I am video, which, like I said, lo and behold, okay, it's a little bit shorter, but it's still a long form video. Gets more views and one singular like, which is more than, like I said, most of them longer form videos. We're in that video and I said, I am a professional fighter. Yeah. And with the rule of 369, if you've clocked, I said that 3 times, and it's the evening, so I'll say it again like I do in English, Italian and Portuguese. Sono un combattente professionista. Sono un combattente professionista. Sono un combattente professionista. Eu sou lutador profissional. Eu sou lutador profissional. Eu sou lutador profissional. You get me? I count on my fingers for the Italian like that, but... And as I said, bruv, for no other reason than I choose to. And then I remove imposter syndrome from my own mind, because, as I've said, lifelong martial artist. And then even if I wasn't, but I am, but even if I wasn't, as I said, because I choose to. And aside from all of that, I'm an immortal spiritual soul in a matrix simulation. This physical avatar is almost 27 years old, but my soul is immortal. And I've had a multitude of life sims. And like the Avatar, the Last Airbender cartoon, I can look back, hypothetically, on all those past avatars that this specific soul has experienced through a specific POV, in a specific body. Yeah, made it rhyme and I didn't even try this time. Whatever. Looking back on all those avatars, knowing that it doesn't matter what those life experiences and journeys were like, there's a reason why you don't instantly remember. I know some people talk about past lives. I know some people talk about how you can unlock those memories. I know me personally, I've had little blips of it here and there. Like I said, being in an Amazonian jungle and I'm in front of a kill and everyone's congratulating me as a hunter, and then I look at one of my fellow warriors and I sort of nodded and I woke up out of a dream like, what the fuck was going on there, bruv? Yeah? Knowing in this specific genetic lineage as Josh, as a Highlander, my Scottish Highlander ancestry through my father's lineage. Knowing that, of course, I battled the Roman legions in their tight little formations with their cute little uniforms and the all match. And I'm there with my brothers, painted, stood half naked, fucking 10 toes in the mud. Weaponry, but I got my sword and my shield right here. Kamikaze levels ready to go, bruv. Let's do it. Let's see. Let's see who's really ready to go and bleed into the earth on this battlefield, bruv. Knowing that my soul is immortal anyway, and I'm ready to die to protect my lands, my freedom, and my peoples, because again, all of us are connected to this higher source. So this evil that lurks in the dark forest, as I look out into the trees in front of me, in the exact same spot I've been in before when I talk about that thing where you kind of can sort of, like I say, I think I know the path. I can see the top of that mountain top that I know I'm keeping climbing, but the way is always, you know, what is it? The obstacle is the way. It's about the journey, not the destination. Yeah? As I said, bro, I'm nearly at half now, and I'll lock the video off there. I'm surprised I'm not absolutely dying for a piss yet, but I am sat down. But the second I go to the gym and stand up at the car, I'll probably be like, oh my days. Let me run up these stairs into the gym, run to the toilet. Jokes aside, banter aside. That was kind of pointless information, wasn't it? But yeah, we don't need it. We're going to dial it down. I'm going to do a longer detox. I did a 24-hour fast as well. I don't think I touched on that. I couldn't have done, have I? Because my last video was before I did it. But I did a 24-hour fast as well because it's easy. It's nothing, bro. It's just in here. When your belly starts rumbling, do your breath work and your meditation. I haven't spoke about semen retention yet, have I, when I said I was going to? Hold on. For the brothers, but for the sisters as well, because I suppose they could sort of extrapolate from the knowledge that, like I said, it's not Josh's ego saying knowledge and wisdom. It's what I'm pulling through the universe, pulling through the ultimate source of creation, through this physical vessel in this simulation. Again, when I'm stood in that cold house last night in front of the little electrical heater, I'm doing little bits of stretching, I'm doing the psychedelic breath work, making sure I don't fucking pass out from a standing position. Knowing that, bruv, you gotta get in that cold shower, bruv, and I'm listening to a podcast of one of those Shaolin monks. I'm sure people will know who it is because he's kind of got a bit of fame here and there. Just listening to something and again reminding myself, I know what I need to be doing. It's all the synchronicities. I'm already walking the path that I knew for a long time. As much as, like I said, and I said about earlier in the video, so bringing it full circle again as I walk away from the path, but the vision got clearer and clearer. Let me do it like that so it's not off camera too much. And it's like I said, it's pinpoint more. Really, it's kind of like that. I kind of fucked that up a little bit, but you get what I'm third eye, you know what I mean? But more honed in and focused. And like I said, all of last year, and I said wire in a garden, more introduced it alongside the weight train that was still, again, like you kind of holding on to a little bit. But then, the funny thing is with this cold showers, the funny thing is with all the weight I've lost from only doing the Muay Thai, and I think 2 leg days in the gym this year. So for what? We're in March now, so it's the end of March. Well, January, February, March. 3-4 months of Muay Thai and MMA, and I suppose boxing, training. And like I said, 2 leg days. Okay, yeah, a lot of walking. Okay, recent times, started doing running again. Gonna start doing sprints as well, that my coach said to me I need to be doing Tuesday, and I still haven't done yet. But I'm gonna do it tomorrow morning. I know, yeah. There is no tomorrow, in the words of Apollo Creed in Rocky 3. But I am going to do it tomorrow. In this park as well. What was I going to say? Semen retention. Again, like I said, and I'm in the cold shower. Again, I'm going to bring it full circle. And then lock the video off. As I was saying with my physique as well, we're letting go of the weights and not my ego. I want to be, a big boy bodybuilder on the one hand from an egotistical level. But then, like I said, when I am doing the stretching, and it makes sense. I can't be all tight and compact like a chimpanzee. And I think I said it on the channel in older videos. But I'll say it again in this one. Sometimes the way I kind of look at the part of my psyche, the part of my personality, that is almost like when I say about, bringing out the demons when you meditate on it, but that inner sort of warrior energy and spirit. It's almost like I could look at it of like one of those like alpha male chimpanzees, you see. And without being crude, bruv, you see the big fucking bollocks on him and you're like, Jesus Christ. But if that thing walked close to you, probably, if it stood on his hind legs, probably be like that tall. I'm 5'10". You know what I mean? They'd be like barely there. But motherfucker, if that thing went for you, it's going to rip your face off, it's going to kill you, whatever, cool. I sort of imagine that part of me that's like that fucking, that demon, that, like I said, I keep contained until it is time to come out in training. Like I said, I started to visualise it. It's almost like that chimpanzee that's like rattling on a cage. There's a video I've seen, if I had the editing skills at my disposal, or the technologies rather, I could edit that in. There's like a clip of one literally like rattling on this cage door. And anyway, and I imagine it's like that, but then when it's time, like I said, in the training, the right time, or like I said, bruv, push comes to shove in this matrix, I open the door, open the cage door to that fucking psychotic chimpanzee when he starts coming out, and then utilising the energy for the training, and then it's back into the cage, and we keep it calm, cool, collected and composed. And then, as I said, when I'm meditating and I can feel those dark energies around me that want me to eat the shitty food, that want me to watch the porn and relapse, that want me to be an actual real life demon in this fucked up simulation, which is what it can seem like sometimes, as the rain starts pissing down, as it's almost time to go train. Yeah? As I said, bruv, we meditate, and understand that ultimately, like I said, I'm part of the ultimate source of creation, which, without getting too tongue-tied and whatever, because I know I keep saying about sim retention, I've not said the point I'm making. But again, doing the cold showers, when I'm in there and you're tensing and it's like, fuck, I know, and then I start shadowboxing, and then I even do a thing where I do my specific breath work thing where I do that, and I crouch down and I push my elbows against my sort of knees or inner thighs, take a full inhale, feel all that oxygen going up your back into your brain, stand up, exhale. And like I said, if you're not careful with that practice, you can get a bit jelly-legged. But then, as I said, I'm in a freeze cold shower and take a step forward and it's hitting my... But then I control and nasal breathe, start fucking shadowboxing. And I caught my reflection in the window through the shower door glass. Like I said, as I'm tensing because it's so cold, I'm like, fucking, of course I can still see the physique I've worked so hard to attain over all these years. Of course, there's levels of building muscle and perceived muscle wastage, but all it is a lack of a pump, a lack of blood flow. Again, bringing it full circle with Avatar: The Last Airbender. You want to talk about water bending, because we are water beings, and blood bending. Again, do your own research. That's a topic for another day. Again, with the sim retention, understand that big ball of energy and that life force energy that is part of your cerebrospinal fluid. Yeah, they want you to still be in that mental box of it's all just, like I said, with the chimpanzee analogy, like I said, I know it sounds crude and it's kind of funny to say, but in your testicles as a man, that's part of it. But part of what will, you know, when you're making a baby, yeah, is your spinal fluid. Whether you believe that or not, hey man, it's up to you. For obvious reasons. Why is there the phrase, someone doesn't have a backbone? Yeah, why is it when someone is paralysed from the waist down, sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time, they have problems with, yeah, why is it your kidneys look like a pair of testicles? Why is it they're almost like balancing weighing scales, yeah? So if you're not out of balance, people talk about your chakras are balancing. I'm saying too much, bro, because I can feel the energy, and I know I can see the timer. It's getting closer and closer to time to train. We'll finish this. We'll lock off the video. I'll tell you what, about 40 minutes. That's about 2.5 minutes. Like I said, with these longer form videos, even if no one watches it, I've got it. What are you doing? It's a bit weird, isn't it? So on parts. Oh, taking pictures of the car. Of course we are. Anyway, even if no one watches it and it just serves for me, but I can chop it up for the shorts irregardless. If the rain starts pissing down and getting heavier, as I'm saying, bruv, understanding with the semen retention, clicking more and more in my mind, of course, forgetting what everyone else is saying, forgetting how all the distractions and all, as I've unprivatised, or unlisted, but made public again on my channel, a couple of my older semen retention videos, feel free, go check that out, shameless plug, where I'm saying the false idols and the false entities claiming to have the keys to the wisdom and the knowledge, and then they'll say something that me personally, forget everyone else, me personally, I'm like, that is bullshit, bruv. Like I said, when I seen a man advocating for semen retention, so salute, but then a man saying, oh, well, you know, doing it long term, excuse me, the benefits plateau, blah, blah. Nah, bruv, you're telling me these Shaolin monks who are doing it for years, okay, we could banter and be like, they've never known the touch of a woman, never, jokes aside, banter aside. And would you want to fight one of them motherfuckers? Like I said, forget about, we're gonna put some pads on, we're gonna have a night, bro. If it's push, it's fight to the death, bro. You want a war with them, man? Yeah. Imagine an army of them. Again, do your research, do your meditations. See how there's people too close to me, but you can't see them. But whatever. We're almost at the 40-minute mark. We're nearly there. I've nearly finished the energy drink. It's nearly time to go. As I said, bro, of course it would click in my mind. And I said it in a previous video, but I say it again in this one. Of course, when I've worked out the days, because I say you should count the days when everyone around I see I see loads of people saying, no, you shouldn't count the days, make the days count. Okay, well, how do you know when you're on 90 days, bruv? I understand the idea of it shouldn't be count each day, every single day. But even then, bruv, if your mind works similar to mine, bruv, I hate sometimes the over-the-top mathematics and frequencies, but sometimes when it's like numbers and stuff, and I can literally like, you know, all the data and whatnot. But anyway, of course, when I worked it out and I'm like, right, I'll be on 89 days on my birthday. Because like I said, a whole man's by relapse in January. I was still working with these energies and fighting against the current and allowing myself to do dumb stuff. And then lo and behold, I get the fight date. And so when I'm, you know, again in my journal where I write shit down, I'm like, oh yeah, the day after my 27th birthday, when I'm thinking about, oh, you know, old as a human. And I'm like, of course, 90 days on the dot, semen retention. When I've said 100 times on this channel in shorts and videos, obviously the shorts come from the videos, but when I've said that 3 month, that 90 day mark is really a milestone that, like I said, not a lot of man can get to, bruv, for a multitude of reasons. But you know what the biggest one is? Because it's fucking hard, bruv, yeah? As a man, you're gonna get horny, bro, I get it, yeah? And it ain't about cutting off that part of yourself completely. Because really, if you want to get deep with it, it's still part of you. But again, with the meditation, again with the breath work, we can redirect that energy. So when it's bubbling up, and the only thing, in theory, at your disposal is these technologies and these phones to go on certain websites and you know, and relapse and whatnot. With the meditation and the breath work, yoga, whatever, alongside doing hard physical training, doesn't have to be martial arts, and it doesn't have to be weight training, whatever you might be doing, but move the blood around your vessel so it's not stagnant, yeah? Again, we can redirect the energy, redirect the focus. And as I've said, as these people leave, as it's time to finish this drink and time for me to go, well overdue, but it's time to go. As I said, bruv, this is the reason why I know I will win my fight. I will win many fights in the future. As I said, I am a professional fighter. Sounds contradictory when I'm like my first amateur Muay Thai fight. Amateur, professional. But as I said, bro, we speak it into existence. It's part of the journey, part of this life simulation that one day we can all look back on this video and I can maybe do the trick of like we zoom into my face and then zoom back out of my face in the present moment and be like, I told you. You see what I'm saying, bro? Yeah? Look how fucking bushy and long my beard's getting. When someone said it to me a couple of days ago, it was like, right, that beard's getting grizzly. And I'm, yeah, I know, bro. Yeah? But anyway, I'll leave the video there. I've exhausted what I needed to say. Feel free to comment down below. Questions, thoughts, comments, interactions, any and everything. My Instagram is down below for my fitness page. Like I said, fitness journeys. Like I said, I really do this, bro. Personal trainer, an online coach. Fitness journeys, my fitness brand. That's why it's FJTV, Fitness Journeys TV. And even then, FJTV, Fighting Josh TV. How about that? Fighter Josh TV, yeah. Joshua Highlander. I'm not going to say my last name because I've said it anyway, but leave the video there. Like I always say, man, stay up, stand your purpose. You know what you need to do. Yeah, just do it. Do or do not, there is no try, yeah? Stay up, stand your purpose, let's go.